Mortal Kombat Collections, Buy Stuff Super Sprint Pre-Orders, and Shinobi versus Ninja Gaiden. It's Ninja Wars. Hiya. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened this week in home arcades and retro gaming, episode 194. What is going on? Hope everybody had a great weekend. We are rounding out the summer, aren't we? July is steadily coming to a close. It came to a close, and now we are into August. Last month, officially, I guess, of summer, depending on where you are. It's definitely the end of the summer in Cincinnati. We actually have seasons here, which is something I didn't have in Texas growing up. There's 4 of them. There's you got like a summer, and then you have a fall, a winter, and then a spring. It's crazy. There's 4 of them. It's great. So we're rounding out here. So we took advantage of that this weekend. Saturday, we went rafting and had some fun on the Whitewater River. Yeah, not whitewater rafting, Whitewater River. It's one of the tributaries that feeds the Ohio, just northeast of us in Indiana. That was a lot of fun. That was a workout. That was a lot of rowing on my part, but we had a lot of fun. We had a few drinks, water. Is just water. We had just water, but we had a great time. The weather was great. Started off kind of cool in the morning, got a little bit warm, and that was good. So my Saturday was awesome. Also, I don't know if you can kind of see right there, and then there's more in the back. I am in the middle of completely redoing the lighting with the exception of the black lights. The black lights will stay, but these new lights here, getting rid of those big square ceiling panels, those 2-foot by 2-foot squares. If you notice in some of my videos, and I'll probably do a comparison later on this week, maybe showing the difference between the two. There's so few of them, and they're really bright. That's great. But man, they just provide a ton of glare. It's just not great for any kind of filming whatsoever. It's just not good. I have to have a shade and all that. So we're going to redo that. You can kind of see 2 of them right there. There's going to be 8 of these little guys total. They do fit in the recessed ceiling. And that's going to be fun. So we're going to be trying that out this week. I'm going to be excited to get that wrapped up because it's just been something that's been bugging me for a very long time, really pretty much since I built the arcade. It was great to have. They threw out a bunch of light, but like I said, the filming just suffered. Absolutely. Really bad. So what do you do when you suffer? You drink. That's right. Tonight, I don't know what you're drinking, but I am drinking Penelope Bourbon. This is the toasted variant. A good friend of the channel, Galaxy Guy 88, recommended it. Actually gave me this bottle. I have not finished it yet. See, I've been taking my time, buddy. Taking my time. So everybody, cheers, get back, relax, and hopefully you are winding down your summer. Hopefully it was an eventful summer. Hopefully, maybe, just maybe, you got a week ahead of you of little to no work. That'd be nice, right? Not too bad. So not only do we have a drink every single weekend here on the This Week show, we also have a poll question every single week. That's right. Every Sunday, we have a live poll question. If you're in the chat live right now, you can vote on this question. We're going to run it all the way through the end of the show. And at the end of the show, we're going to talk about the results. This week, we're talking about pre-orders. That seems to be the name of the game as far as what's going on, especially the topics we have for tonight. That's sort of the big thing going on. Retro and news sort of converging. And, of course, pre-orders are always a part of this package. And it's never just the game. There's always some kind of variant or variation of it. So we have a lot to choose from. And I wanted to get your take as fellow retro gamers. Talk to me. Let me hear you. Let your voice be heard and vote in the poll question, which is simply this. When you pre-order a game, you're really excited about, not just any old game, but when there's a game coming out and you're stoked about it, which version do you go for? So you got 4 options. Just do the digital, download it, and you're good to go. You have a standard version, so it's a physical copy, but it's just the disc, just a disc in a game. Sadly, there's no manuals in these games anymore, so you're just getting a box and a disc or a box and a cartridge, but it's fine. So digital, standard, which is a physical version, Deluxe, which is a little bit more. They have a few more things in it, but you only spend about $80. That's like that's your max. Like, you're not gonna go anything above that is crazy. Speaking of crazy, that what would be the final selection is your collectors. No limit. There's always some kind of blown out bundle, depending on the type of game we're talking about, depending on the nostalgia that's baked into the franchise. There's always some bloated collector's edition. Limited Run usually has these. Sometimes they are direct from some of the publishers. Some of the companies actually create the games themselves. I never got my hands on that Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta collector's edition. Kicking myself about that one. So that was missed opportunity there. But what do? You're really excited about a game. Which one do you choose? 4 options up there. Jump up. Let your voice be heard. Vote in the poll. I really want to know where everybody's at. Am I making a big deal about nothing? Does it really matter? At the end of the day, it's 2025. Fox, why do you even bother with physical copies? I want to know what your 2 cents are. There's my 2 cents. I want to know what your 2 cents are right now. Okay, everybody. Hopefully you had a great week. A lot of stuff going on in the arcade. Yeah, so we're still rocking the Battle Pod. We have not upgraded. There's been a lot of great suggestions on different software to clone the hard drive. Haven't got around to doing that yet. I'm just kind of, just sweating there for a little bit, but it's not brick that's good to go. So we're going to leave that be for right now. Work on the rest of the arcade, and then we'll come back to it eventually. I'm sure there'll be a video. I'm sure I'll put a video together. That's what I do here on the YouTubes. So it's what I do. Now let's talk about what you do. Let's talk about the first 10 comments every single week. There's a wee bit of a competition. Who can jump in early? Who can make the top 10? Are they the best 10 or just the first 10 comments? I guess we're going to figure out that tonight. Coming in the number 1 spot is Frank D. Coming at the coveted number 1 spot. And Frank D says, hamburgers tonight. That is always a cause for celebration. Thank you so much for being here and claiming the coveted number 1 spot. Coming in the number 2 spot is Angelo P. What's going on, buddy? Kim coming in number 2. Very, very good. Evening Fox and chat. Where did the weekend go? You know what? I thought the same thing. Looked up at the clock and it was like 7:15. I'm like, what are we doing? This is crazy. Maybe I'm just not paying attention, or maybe we're trying to cram too much stuff in our weekends. Any news or updates on Iconic? Iconic. I wish I had an update for you. When it comes to Iconic. I really do. I've reached out, and the only one I can get to even reply to me is Bobby Vu. And I simply say, hey, are these things still coming out? And he says, yes. That's the best I can do for you guys. I got some tabs on my computer saved. One of those is, websites that are bookmarked. One of those is Iconic. Just waiting to see if there's some kind of update. And they still have that the little sizzle reel, the little video playing on a loop. It says coming June 25. I don't know. So that was 2 months ago at this point, month and a half ago, and they're still playing it. So I don't know. I wish I had something positive to say. I would love to have so much competition, so many things out there going on that we just don't know where to spend our money. I just don't have anything new from Iconic. Hopefully they're coming out. Maybe. I have no idea. The tagline for Iconic and the whole, XXL was something to talk about, right? Because we had nothing to talk about. So they gave us something to talk about for a little bit. And then that's it. 8 months later, it would be nice if they would give us maybe a second thing to talk about. Do you think they'll come out with anything, or do you think it's over? I don't think it's over. I just am not encouraged. Like, I still don't know, like right now, if you put your money down right now, I mean, you can't right now because the pre-orders are closed. For all those that put their money down to pre-order, what did you pre-order? That was my problem. I wanted to see something closer to a final product, a finished product. Maybe not 100% done, but how about 80% done? How about 50% done? And we just never got that. And I think that everybody in this community deserves to know exactly what they're buying. And that's why I never pre-order one, because I wouldn't pay $600 for the prototype. It looked cool, but I wouldn't pay for that. So until I know what I'm getting, I'm not spending my money, and I can't recommend anybody else spend theirs either. Not until they show something new and something different. Coming in the number 3 spot is Sir Sega. What's going on, brother? Sir Sega. Sega swinging, knocking it out of the park. with Shinobi. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I'm very, very happy with what Sega's doing so far. Yo, Fox and Chad, happy Sunday. Buy Stuff Racer looks good, but way overpriced, in my opinion. We're going to talk about the price range, not just the bottom and the top, but everything in the middle. We'll talk about that tonight. And coming in, Kevin Clausen, like a champ, with the 1 membership gift. Thank you so much, everybody. Also, tonight we're going to do another, we're going to have, well, let's go with, let's see how many. We got 2 minutes in now, and we're going to go with, let's go with 10 super chats. We're going to have a goal tonight of 10 super chats of any denomination, any value, doesn't really matter. We get 10 super chats tonight. We're going to have second pour. Second pour basically means that when the show's over and I drink the last sip of the drink, we'll have a second pour and we'll just have a Q&A and talk about it. But thank you so much for gifting memberships, always supporting the channel, Kevin. I can't thank you enough, man. Coming in the number 4 spot is Nova Sonic 23. What's going on? Hello, Fox. How are things with the wife? In her defense, she was close. Yes, I mean, it was a Skywalker. It just wasn't Luke Skywalker. You know what I'm talking about? Check out some of my short videos. It was sad. The marriage was on the rocks there for about 4.3 nanoseconds. Then, we're good. Okay, so now, Kevin, I'm going to give you the number 5 spot, even though you already gifted a membership. Sorry about the failed marriage. On the plus side, you don't age and appear to have the same godlike powers as Kim Jong-un. Note, don't forget to dust the portrait off, as inspection is coming by tonight. Okay, well, thank you so much for that. And thanks for the compliment. Okay, we'll move on. Bob is coming in the number 6 spot. Buddy, how the hell are you? Hope everything's going well. Hope the boys are doing phenomenal. I guess they're getting ready to go back to school, aren't they? Tell them I said sorry. Hi, all. Can't wait for the Mortal Kombat collection. Ordered the middle bundle for PS5 and the big bundle for Switch 2. Can't wait for this one. Dang, you got 2 bundles. Not too shabby. Salute, Bob. Bob's a little bit excited. He's a little bit pumped. Coming in the number 7 spot, one of my favorite YouTube names, CP Fluid. What's going on, buddy? Ahoy there. Number 8, I'll take it. Been playing some Atari 2600 lately. Good stuff. You hip? Am I hip? Am I down? Am I picking up what you're laying down on the 2600? I don't have one. I know. Don't get mad, but I don't have one. I don't have a 2600. Atari was my friend, my cousin, my good, close cousin, damn near my brother. He had one, and we played it some, but I really kicked off. I really started my video game journey with the NES. So I'm down. I'm cool. I think it's dope, yo. I just don't technically have one. And yes, CP, you're lucky number 7. Absolutely. Coming in clutch, and the number 8 spot is Mr. Clutch. I love these new takes on old 2D games. I do too. I really do. We're going to talk about some of the details of these games later on tonight. But yes, these new takes on 2D games, they're doing some phenomenal stuff. And I don't think I never thought the genre was ever really dead as far as creatively what they could have done. I know it's kind of stalled there for a while, but man, I love this resurgence. I love the combination of the resurgence of an old IP and this old 2D platformer, side-scrolling beat 'em up type of format of games coming back, and the combination of the two is it's so awesome. With the graphical fidelity of what we have now, the detail we can pull off, you can get some beautiful looking games. Would also love to see them do games like Gunstar Heroes, Eternal Champions. Very nice. Yes, I played that on the old Genesis as well. I thought it was really good. Blade was, well, I think it was my favorite. Yeah, I loved his taunt, loser. Golden Axe and Altered Beast, Sega fan for sure. I can see. Very, very nice. Coming in the number 9 spot is Arcade Dave. What's going on, buddy? I am horrible at Mortal Kombat. I'm not that great either. Of course I am. It still won't stop me from ordering the Mortal Kombat collection. Happy Sunday, Fox and gamers. Maybe with the collection, you can practice and get better. But it's just kind of one of those game franchises you have to have in your collection. You just got to have it. It's just fun. Even if you're not great at it, the collection of games that are going to be on this, I mean, we don't really have the complete list as of right now, right this second. We have a pretty good list, but I don't know if we have all of it. And then coming in the final spot, number 10 spot is JJ. What's going on, buddy? Greetings, 19K Fox. Looks like I just missed. No, you came in right at the very end. Just missed the top 10, but I am looking forward to the show, especially the buy stuff discussion. Yes, we haven't given buy stuff enough love on this channel. I don't know why. I guess other stuff just keeps getting buy stuff, other stuff. See what they're there. Yeah, it's just something that just kind of gets missed in the conversation, and it's just probably an oversight on my part. I'm talking about other stuff. Buy stuff has great options for your cabs, so it's always good. So I can't wait to talk about this. They have pre-orders going live, and we're going to discuss them tonight. We also got Show Gecko in the house. We got Dan Z. I'm a little tired tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Jason Lilalen, Modern Like a Mofo, A2D2. A pleasure, as always, to see you in the chat, my dear. Video Game Vegas is also here. Thumper Squid. The Be Me, a Sunday night drink with 19K Fox. Cheers. What's going on, buddy? We got Israel Gaming is also in the house. Milkman Classic is here, as always. Oh, 19K Fox. Dropping a link for the Shinobi. This is the website, sega.com. Shinobi, where you can download the demo. You can't, like, I couldn't just go to the PlayStation Store to download it for some reason. It was kind of weird. I had to go to the website, click on the link, and then log in, and then I could download it to my console from there. So it's kind of an awkward thing. Maybe this is how they always do it, but you can find versions of Steam and Switch, and everything is all right there. So if you're interested in the game, maybe not now, maybe after the discussion, click on that link and go check it out for yourself. It's a free demo, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. A Tran Fanatic, as always, so good to see you, man. Fire Island HD, what's going on? Stock Jock, is this where we come to find all of our arcade wishes? Well, we can complain about stuff here. We can talk about the wishes that we don't get fulfilled. You're among friends. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. Dr. Torque, what's going on, bro? Fox and Foxettes. It's time to rock out right here, right now. Mike Hawkhurst is also in the plant. Miss G, Tammy, a pleasure, as always. Great to see you. The Reels in. We got John Fritz on the Fritz. No, he's right here. He's good to go. He's steady. Rock solid. Midlife Arcade is also here. B. Kirby, what is going on, buddy? Always great to see you, man. MSU Rich is in the house. Great to see you. Let me scroll down. Galaga Guy, the Galaga Guy, 88. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Gamer Fridge is chilling in the chat right now. Who else do we have in his house up in this mother? Yo, Chris Ford is also here. We got P. Dubious Maximus. I hope you had a hell of a weekend, brother. How's the repairs coming on the house? Hopefully that's all going well, bud. Hopefully that is going well. Have a good stream, bro. I'll catch you on the replay. Pop in and say hi. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're probably working. You're probably working like a maniac trying to get that house wrapped up. I know you are, man. And it's coming along really well. It's looking really good. Marine 50, what is going on, buddy? Good evening programs. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we said hi to Gramps Arcade. Just want to make sure I say hi again. And look, what do we have here? The first super chat rolling in. Knocking on that 10 super chat goal for tonight. It's Bob, the man, the myth, the legend. Pit me on Mortal Kombat Collection Talk. LOL. Well, I mean, it's only fitting. And your wish is my command.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Brooklyn Menace, thank you so much for being here, buddy. Always good to see you. Cheers. J Rod, what's up, buddy? And I think that is about it for now. Went to the closet this morning and threw on the 19K Fox t-shirt without thinking. Premonition? I think so. All right. So we got to talk about a bunch of stuff tonight. Make sure you take the time as we're talking, as we're discussing, jump up in the poll and answer that poll question. I want to know how you pre-order, when you pre-order, if you pre-order. Yeah. Okay, so grab your drink and let's go ahead and click this button over here and let's slide into the first topic. Mortal Kombat Kollections. Mortal Kombat, more than one. Lots of collections, all Mortal Kombat, all the time. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and now we finally this week have actually got some products dropping in various places, and we're going to discuss the packs, the variations, and the prices thereof, hitherto and yon, in excruciating detail. Well, at least the detail we have right now. Dane Bramage is also here. What's going on? Howdy from Minnetonka, Minnetonka, Minnesota. What? Wait a minute. This ain't. No, this is not Texas. That's not Texas at all. Bush and Radio Kitty is also here. Hey there, Fox. If you still have it, does your Big Blue have side art? If not, why not Capcom one side and Darkstalkers the other? You talking about my the Arcade 1-Up? If not, why not Capcom one side? I wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me to have mixed match artwork as long as it if they had to have. They would have to have some kind of cohesive theme between the two, some commonality. I wouldn't just want radically different stuff on this side and radically different stuff on this side. So if you think about like some kind of a compilation disc, so like a Capcom fighting collection would have similar images, similar pictures. I'm kind of thinking too about like that Mortal Kombat. Marvel vs. Capcom, the first one, the first game, the first artwork, where they had Marvel characters kind of facing this way and Capcom characters facing this way, taking that artwork and putting it on either side of the cabinet, kind of what they did with that first Arcade 1-Up. You could do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. So you could have maybe Darkstalkers on one side and then Capcom characters maybe on the other. I don't know. You can do something like that. That would not be bad. You're talking about the Big Blue Arcade 1-Up. Yes. I think that it's you could do that. You could absolutely do that for sure. Okay, so the cheapest, the easiest way to get into this is going to be the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, just the standard edition. Standard edition, well, we're starting at $60. Now, the pricing and availability is going to be, these numbers are going to be from Best Buy itself. So right now, if you want to go to Best Buy, if you want to get in on this compilation, this collection for what I would consider to be the cheapest price, $59.99. Obviously going to be variations wherever you live. This is the best way to go, or one of the ways to go. 12/12/25, December 12th, 2025 is what we're seeing over here on Best Buy. And you're just going to get the game in a case. That's pretty much it. Same thing over here. They call out Xbox specifically on the limited run site. Not sure why. But the date is the same. December 12th through the 19th is what they're calling for. Standard edition. It's $50. So $10, I guess, cheaper. You're going to have shipping. So if you're talking about, $59.95 over here on Best Buy, you're going to get free shipping and maybe some tax. Over here, you're going to have to include shipping, but you're probably going to have some savings on limited run. I guess if you just want the Xbox version, they don't really call out. They don't allow you to change your platform or check the platforms. You can switch between editions, but not different consoles. I don't know why that is. I don't know why they just have the Xbox. But if you still have an Xbox out there and you want to play this on Xbox, you can save $10 by going over to limited run. Still have the same date. So that December 12th. Okay. So not bad. And if I just take I'm just going to take a peek. So yeah. So, okay. So a good number of you will do a standard edition, standard physical edition, nothing crazy. So, it's not most of you, but it's a pretty good split so far. And once again, vote in the poll question, guys. This is going to be an important one. I can't wait to post this information. It'll be a good discussion. 60 votes so far. And it's looking like about a third of you, as far as everybody's voted now, you just go standard. So this is a good way to go. You got a bunch of different options. December, middle December, so just in time for Christmas. So get one for yourself. And then you could, when it shows up, you could wrap it and put it under the tree for you. That's or you can buy it and you can give it to your wife and tell her to wrap it, and then it'll be for you. Either way, it's for you, stocking stuff or whatever. So that's good, not bad. Pricing is reasonable, but here we go. Yeah, there we got Kevin with the where's my mouse? There it is. Love my Game Pass, which is maybe just a better way to go with this. But I'd love to see Atari making in television now. But they have the license, maybe release some enhanced games to get the Mad Amico crowd out of everyone's memory. Oh, Mad Amico cloud out of everyone's memory. Yeah, I think there is always, hey, Movie Mark, what's going on, buddy? Jumping in late, come to see. You're not late. You are right on time. I think that there is, as we see with these compilations we've talked about last week, I suggest bring all those consoles back. Real consoles, updated. I think that there's demand for the big guys, and anything Atari does, you put the Atari stamp on it, it's going to be, I think it'll be successful as long as they set their expectations reasonably within a television. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that, crowdfund it. When in doubt, crowdfund it. When in doubt, throw it on your website. And that's the great thing about a lot of these companies. You see that happening all the time. Atari is selling Ataris on their website. It's kind of great, kind of makes sense, right? Kind of the way that it should be. And you don't necessarily have to go to retail to gauge demand. But if it is successful on your website, then absolutely go to retail. So we got some decent versions here, no problem. Decent availability, December 12th. Now things start getting a little bit more expensive, but I feel like this is probably where I'm going to settle right here, the deluxe edition. Now, the deluxe edition is not everywhere. It's really not. I found this on Best Buy, but this version is not on limited run as far as right now. So this is where some of these offerings, some of these games are going to be sort of fragmented based on where they're going to be located. So go to the Atari website if you want to find out exactly where all these variants are located and exactly what's going to be included in the variations. But this is the one, it's a little bit more. You're talking about $20 over the Xbox version, or $10 more. The PS5, standard PS5. This is what I'm leaning towards. I'm not a gigantic, huge Mortal Kombat fan, but I do like the franchise. So I'm kind of feeling this. I'm a sucker for a steelbook. This includes a steelbook, a physical copy of the actual game itself. You got a lot of cool stuff here, little marquees, little cards that actually show off the arcade cabinet. So there's some good arcade love within this. So for $10 more, I think this is the way to go. And see, I'm in really good company. Look, the deluxe is the best version in my opinion. I think you get a lot of arcade love with this, and the fact that these things come in boxes that will house all this stuff, you're not going to be struggling looking for a place to put all this stuff. So it'd be nice to kind of have the game in a nice steel book and then all the other stuff kind of back in the other box, and you put the box on display. But anything that includes some kind of an arcade love or any kind of callback to the history of the game and the franchise, I'm kind of a sucker. I'm all about that. And it comes with a magnet. What cooler thing to put on your fridge than a Mortal Kombat magnet? But there's some really good stuff here. When you consider this over just the standard edition, there's a lot of stuff here for only $10 more. So I am absolutely going to go with this version right here. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm going to end up going with this version for sure, and still showing the same release date. Now this is Best Buy. We don't necessarily know exactly if that's going to be accurate or not. We will see, because if you go to Atari, they're saying it's all subject to change. It's all variations. It's all mystery, shrouded in mystery. And the best way to clear up that mystery is a $2 super chat, like this one from Kevin Clausen. What's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I agree with JJ. This super chat goal is a scam. Absolutely. And we just need 8 more super chats to really drive home the point. This is an absolute scam. It's shameful. Really.
Let's go. Wolverine win. Rookie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I usually don't like an upsell if it's just garbage and fluff. But for $10 to $20 more, depending on where you're shopping, and maybe there's a little bit of tax, or whatever, some variations, some shipping, whatever, you're really getting a lot. And I like this variation. And if maybe that's not enough for you, if you're thinking, that's nice and all, but I really wish that there was a way for me to spend, I don't know, like $80 more. Well, guess what? We got you covered. Don't you worry. If that money is burning a hole in your pocket, if you hate the fact that money is in your bank account, well, let's just get that right out, and let's just go ahead and look at this here. So this is the collector's edition of the collection. A lot of K's going on here. Mortal Kombat collection, collector's edition. The pre-order window is all month, all August. You'll be able to go over to limited run and check this out. Okay, so I've already told you which one I like that I'm going to go for. So right now, I'm not going to go for this one. But there's no shame here. If you're really excited about Mortal Kombat, and a lot of people are. A lot of people are very pumped about Mortal Kombat. Excited about it. And deservedly so. It's a storied franchise, salute, and all that good stuff. But let's be real. $150. And you're getting basically everything in the deluxe, plus a few other things. A metal coin, but you're really paying for the Goro controller holder, really, the little statue of Goro, and he's going to hold your controller. That's that. I guess that's really pretty much it. So, is that worth $80? Is all this other stuff worth $80? I mean, it is going to be a numbered collection, so that's good. So you really got to ask yourself, well, is it really worth all that stuff? Also, just a small detail that I've highlighted here on the bottom. Just a small listen. Rejoice. Yes, all of the fans will be very happy. That is the ugliest Goro statue I've ever seen. So you're a fan and you're going to buy 2. Gotcha. We'll put you down for 2. Okay. If I resisted buying the Shinobi statue at $200, I don't need any ugly controller holder. LOL. So the price is an issue. But if you're a big fan of Mortal Kombat, like other people in the community, it is what it is. Knock yourself out. But there's one more issue. Do you look at the ship date, guys? Could you maybe just avert your eyes from the gaudiness of the Goro, for a second, and just pan to the right? Below the $150 price tag is an estimated ship date of May 25th to May 31st of 2026. So let's see. Let's do math. Let's do math with our hands. So January, February, March, April, May. So halfway through next year, you'll get this. And this is why people hate limited run. They really don't like it. They really don't like it. It's very sad. It's very sad. I don't understand. Really? I mean, why? I don't get that. Why does it take so long? I mean, why? I guess they have to go ahead and have the Guru, the controller stand like molded. I mean, have they not made these yet? I mean, 6 months? So you got the 5 months of next year. Then you got September, October, November, December. So we're talking about 10 months from now. I'm sorry, 9 months. 9 months from now. That's a long time, guys. That's a really long time. And that's rough. And that's tough. And you need something soothing to help you with that. Like a $2 super chat. This one from Stringer Films, $2. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat, buddy. I hold my own controllers. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, I'm not going to put, it's in the best hands when it's in your hands. Guru is the only person that can actually engage all partners simultaneously in a menage a trois. Well, that depends on the number of members in the aforementioned activity. A little spicy. Got cool things down with the $2 super chat from B Kirby. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat, brother. As always, what number super chat are we on now? No one can really know. It's a mystery, lost to the ages. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy, as always. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 super chats right now. I don't know why it's not really tallying up over here on YouTube. Maybe because YouTube kind of sucks. But there we go. We are we're 5 in. So 5 more to go. I don't know what that we'll just turn that off for now. I don't know why it's not registering. So what are we doing? Come back over here. There we go. So that's what you're looking at as far as like the top tier. Now, honestly, I'm just going to go with this. This looks really good. December 12th, plenty of time. That's no problem. I'm happy with that. I think that's the way it's going to go. I think that's the way I'm going to go. To each their own, but I think this is just a lot of silly kind of bloatware, and this is why I usually don't go with these crazy-ass collections. I just don't get it. Doug, how are you, buddy? Always great to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. That is incorrect. Okay. Standard 12-month lead time to know how many statues to make. But it's shipping in 9 months. I don't know. It's crazy. How about they ship everything but the statue? I don't know. I don't get it. Logistically, I guess it is what it is, right? I think they should just plan on making. For me, it's Mortal Kombat. I say you take this collection and you make however many you make of them. You make 100, 200, whatever, and then you sell them and you say, hey, it's limited to 200. And there you go. And then you can get those at a reasonable time. And then think of the reseller on eBay. Won't that be fun? Yeah. So it is what it is, guys. Even if I think that if you're a big fan of this, I think you're willing to wait. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. It's not like it's going anywhere, you know? I mean, it sort of is what it is, right? So, I think you're probably not mad about the wait time. The real issue is going to be the $150. Do you think that that's worth it? Do you think it's worth $150? I don't know. To me, it's just I can't get there. I can't get there. Not for Mortal Kombat. Now, maybe if it was something else, maybe if it was, Metal Gear Solid, I could probably get there. But even that would have to be some kind of a compilation collection, something. I'd have to have something a little bit different because even with that Mortal Kombat collectors, or not Mortal Kombat, but the Metal Gear Solid Delta collector's edition, it had some Atrium in it. And I don't know. I would kind of want something a little more substantial. How about a big, thick book with artwork with it's a reproduction manual of the original game from back in the day, something that had some real value to it, in my opinion, and put it all together in a nice, clean steel book, something that I could keep everything kind of compiled or compiled and put together and keep everything nice and cherry. So I don't have the pages getting bent or anything like that. Kind of like what they did with Terminator 2D on their, on the deluxe editions and the collector's editions that they have online. All that comes in this tin, this big metal tin. So I tend to like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I also like $5 super chats from B Kirby. Thank you so much again for your $5 super chat, buddy. Always appreciate it. Let's pump these numbers up. Absolutely. I'm not going to get mad at you if you drop, a couple super chats here and there. So I think that is going to be the end of that. It's going to be up to you what you want, and I'm not going to really, like I said, I'm not going to really judge anybody for which way you go. You want to spend $150 because you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you're a big Mortal Kombat nut, knock yourself out. I think that's fine. But for me, this is going to be the way to go. $70, maybe $80 after shipping and taxes and whatever. I think it's going to be cool for what you're getting. What you're getting is a lot of stuff, and if you're into physical media, I think this contains everything that I would really want in any kind of a collector's edition or deluxe edition. This, when you get into the statues and all that stuff, it's like, I don't know. To me, that's sort of hit or miss. But this, very game specific, specific not just to this collection, but to the actual arcade and gaming, home arcade, home console, the legacy that came before it. That's what I want to see. That's what I want in all my collections. And I think that is the way I'm going to go. Okay, so let's talk about Buy Stuff. Buy Stuff is a company that's doing stuff. They're asking you to buy their stuff. And to do that, you got to make good stuff. And I think that Buy Stuff makes pretty good stuff. Let's talk about the stuff they're making right now. And finally, after some waiting, after some people that were really like, come on, man, where's this at? Because a lot of people are excited about this. We finally have the announcement. The pre-orders are going live, and we're going to take a look at this tonight and really dig into what you're looking at, what you're going to be getting, what are the options are, what is the price range? Because this is, well, yes, this is so badass. It absolutely is badass. This is what we always wanted. I mean, these arcade recreations, we want those unique cabinets recreated. The ones from back in the day that were weird styles, they were weird sizes, and Super Sprint is going to be the one that a lot of people think of because there weren't that many that had 3 steering wheels. Off-road is another one that I can think of. That was definitely a unique style, late 80s. I don't think these didn't creep into the 90s. I don't believe. I think this was strictly in the 80s. And it's something that people, like I said, you want to recreate an arcade. You're looking for a unique arcade experience. And this is a different form factor. This is one of those cabinets that was just so purpose made for the arcade game that it was, attached to. It's just awesome. And this thing looks really good. Now, I unfortunately didn't quite have enough room in my arcade for this because I was, filling it full of other stuff. But I really, really like the big one that is currently still available. I was actually kind of surprised that this thing was still available. They were going to make an initial run, and then they were going to kind of wait and see. I think they're still doing that. They're producing a limited amount. There's no hint right now as far as what are they currently at, like how many more they're going to make. But if you still want to get your hands on one of these big bad boys with that 26-inch Unico monitor, 3 steering wheels, packed full of good stuff, an awesome badass driving multicade with killer artwork, it's still available at $4,000. Now shipping and all that is going to be an issue because they're in Canada. So you got to look at all that before you buy. Make sure you do your due diligence and dig in there and see exactly what you're looking at. But that is still available, and it's awesome to see. Almost as awesome as a $2 super chat from Galaga Guy 88. Thank you so much for $2 super chat, buddy. How many super chats to get Star Wars Battle Pod at CGC? Only 897 super chats. I have to be invited to Cleveland Gaming Classic, and as of right now, the last I checked, I was actually banned. So that's disturbing.
Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
That's right. No, they're not. They are not sold out as of today. I just checked these today, and still available. So it is a possibility. So check that out. That wouldn't be that's a limited availability, but that's not necessarily a pre-order thing. So 3 to 5 weeks, I think, is the lead time on those. So if you've been on the fence about that, it's a pretty cool multicade. If you like a stand-up racer, that's gonna be the way to go. As far as just purpose-built by a good company that makes good stuff. Other options. So let's talk about read some of these comments. I heard he was going to auction the Battlepod off at Cleveland Gaming Classic. These pay no attention to the lies and the deceit in the chat. What are y'all doing? What are you doing? Hey, Stringer just invited me. Would you like to come to the Cleveland Gaming Classic? Only if you're going, buddy. Only if you're going. 4K is a UC level 80s, 90s pinball machine. Exactly. When you're looking out there at things that are comparable, looking at real products like original arcades, pinballs. I mean, the Battlepod was almost $6,000. I mean, it's just, I understand. I'm not trying to say that this is, I don't want to say it in a way it's like, it's no big deal. $4,000 is a big deal. I don't want to make light of that. But when you compare it to everything else out there in the space, I mean, it was $2,500 for my Astro City. So it just depends. It depends. If you're looking at something with a built-in PC, it's going to run a whole bunch of games, kind of an all-in-one solution with a very unique look. It's something to consider. I'm just throwing it out there. Now let's talk about the other things that are available for pre-order right now. So we're talking about these other variants here: the pedestal, the ALU, and then the ALU with a new top, a new reshaped top. So let's talk about this. So I just decided to go in and let's just click, and the cheapest way to get in on the triple 360 wheel deck, this is the pedestal version, is $900 for the 3 wheels, for the pedestal, with no artwork, nothing like that. This is the cheapest way you can get in right now. If you go and you configure it, this is the bargain basement. This is where you can kind of just start right here. Then if you want to max this bad boy out, just the pedestal, right? Max it out with a gaming PC and the whole 9 yards, you're looking at $1,500. Now, the more I've thought about this and the more that I have kind of had experiences with, like, I got the Silver Strike pedestal, which just really works out great. You can take a TV and hang it on the wall. I've got my shooting multicade coming. It's not here yet. I would sort of tend to gravitate towards this if you're looking for some kind of a multicade and all-in-one solution, games that may go from 4x3 to 16x9 natively. That's originally the way the games were intended. If you're going to have a gaming PC driving cab, I think that this is something. So I would probably lean towards this because of the ability to kind of move this thing around. You could set it up for a game day, game night on a TV that you have in your living room and your game room. Plug it into the TV, and when you're done, you kind of set this off to the side. This is definitely one of the more user-friendly or the space-sensitive options. So all the people that have Arcade 1-Up stuff, you're worried or concerned about size, this would be the ultimate way to go to get everything you want, but maybe be sort of conscious about the overall size. You could slide this out of the way, wheel it out for gaming, or you can just have a TV on the wall. This will be pretty awesome. So this is the maxed out version. So $1,530 before shipping and all that. That's what you're looking at. Now let's go with the ALU. So bargain basement pricing on the ALU. This is going to be $900 to get the ALU. This is where it starts. And then if you want to max it out, now this is going to be, there's going to be one caveat here when I talk about this. So here's your ALU. This is how it starts, $899. To max it out, you're looking at $2,500. Now, I say max it out. This is going to include the reshaped top. If you look at this, this is your ALU, your stock shape of the ALU, right? That's the way that looks. This has a new top, a new topper for the ALU that changes that and gives it more of an arcade accurate shape. It's got the interactive marquee and all that. The one thing that I didn't do, this could get more expensive, but the one thing I didn't do is there was a difference between a faux coin door and the real coin door. For some reason, what I have in this configuration right here is the faux coin door at $150. The real coin door, for some reason, was $450. I thought that was probably something that most people wouldn't spring for. Not on the 3/4 scale. Now on the full size cab, if you go ahead and get the big boy, you probably want a real coin door on that. But for this one, I thought that was probably a bridge too far. So I didn't include that. But yes, you could add that. You could spend $300 more if you really wanted that real coin door. I don't think it's necessary. So $2,500 is where you're at for this version, which will radically change an ALU. I mean, just completely. Artwork package, PC, all that good stuff. Speaking of 4x3, just helped the buddy put a Unico Phoenix in an old Street Fighter II Z-back. I bet that was cool. Looks awesome. I am not a CRT loyalist. I advocate for the preservation of a CRT. I do. But when the tube is shot and you get so much burn in, what are you supposed to do? I would rather put a Unico in that cabinet than let that cabinet just be trashed. So I will advocate for CRT preservation as long as possible. But once the tube is shot, go with the Unico, baby, and you cannot beat the weight savings for sure. So I'm that's my official position. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. So yeah, that's kind of where we're also at as far as the offerings from Buy Stuff. Now, Buy Stuff, listen, I bought a few things from them. Their 19-inch drop-in monitor kit, the upgrade kit for your, I put it on my T2 before I sold it. It was just a sweet little kit. It was simple. It wasn't that expensive when you consider the artwork that was included and the fact that they got the board, they machine the board, they route all that stuff out, they recess that, they flush mount that 19-inch monitor in there. It looks great, and there's just no issue, and you plug it all in and you're good to go. They do great work. They make great products. And I think that it's something, listen, I want to bring it to your attention. If you're curious, if you consider what's going on, and this is a good point here. Guy brings up a good point. So these are kits that you add to an ALU. So you got to have an ALU. And then you add this to it. So you can kind of see why I said I would go for, in my opinion, this to me makes more sense. Now, I know we're all used to buying arcade one-ups to spend like $500 to $700. So this is more expensive. I get that. But I think the pedestal for me would be like the all-in-one solution. You get it, you plug it in. There's some assembly, you plug it in, you're good to go. And you can just rip and you can just play it and have a lot of fun. No other modifications or things needed. This would be the way that I would go. And the sticker shock, I don't really have any sticker shock because I think that what they're doing at the level that they're doing it kind of makes sense. It really does for what they're doing. That's just my 2 cents. So I wanted to highlight that stuff. I wanted everybody to be aware of it, think about it. If it's something you're interested in, this is still so cool. I wish I had more room in my arcade because this would absolutely be something I love. I don't have a stand-up racer. I have one sit-down racer is it, I guess Road Blasters is technically a racer, but that's sick. That is really cool. The PC upgrade for the Fast and Furious is a great upgrade from Buy Stuff because they make great stuff, right? They make great stuff, Gramps. And, great ways to elevate your arcade one-up. So even if you don't go over one of these, there's still other ways other products from buy stuff that you should really check out. You should consider, especially when you consider the fact that RK One Up is not really making new stuff. And if you want to extend the life of your RK One Up cabinets, you should consider maybe, just maybe, checking out some of this stuff. And if nothing else, if not one of these big bad pedestals, maybe just checking out some of the mod kits, some of the things that they offer. Because I'm telling you what, man, it's a good company, and we need to support companies like this if we want to sort of extend the life of home arcades and 3/4 scale home arcades specifically. Ninja Wars. Finally, we are here. 10-year-old me is losing his mind. Ninjas. I talked about it in my video today. Think about the things that, when you were growing up in the 80s, you were a kid, posters on the wall, movies, games. What was something that was consistent with all that? And ninjas were always, they put ninjas in everything, they were like granola. They were just they put them in everything. It's crazy. It's like salt and pepper, the perfect additive to whatever you're cooking, whatever you're making. And it was awesome. This is 19K Fox's favorite topic, maybe, perhaps, because I like ninjas. Ninjas are cool. Ninjas are awesome. Ninjas are great. And let's go ahead and talk about ninjas right now. So let's talk about Ninja Rage. So here we go. So before I get into all that, let's just slow down for a second. You gotta think about it. I had 2 ninja games. Oh yeah, here we go. Ninjas 3, Ninja Kickback. Exactly. Awesome. Yeah, there were ninjas everywhere, and there were some great ninja games back in the day. This was going to be a great year for remakes and remasters and re-envisionings and reimaginings and whatever of ninja video games. I was excited. So I have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound pre-ordered. I have Shinobi pre-ordered. I was actually more excited for Ninja Gaiden. I was, because I have fond memories of that. And what I saw looked really good. So I thought, well, okay, this looks good. Let's go with that. And then Shinobi kind of came out and it looked pretty good. I just let's just get that, and I think it was like $40. So whatever, let's get that. Oh my God. Speaking of which, speaking of getting stuff, how about we get this $2 super chat? Ninja Sneak with a Ninja super chat. Thank you so much for your Ninja super chat. And here you go.
Can't you do any better?
And we got another $2 sliding in there because Dr. Torque is concerned that my glass is far too close to empty. Well, it looks like we made it, guys. We're looking at second pour right after last topic. It's going to be a good night for sure. Thank you so much, everybody, for your super chats. We hit the goal. We hit the 10 super chats. And let me blow you up, and then we'll finish up this last topic. And yeah, we're going to drink more, which is always good. And in the immortal words of Vanilla Ice, go Ninja. Go Ninja. Go. Ninjas were everywhere. And so we had 2 great games coming out. We had Ninja Gaiden. We had Shinobi. I pre-ordered both. I was more excited for Ninja Gaiden. And, I was like excited to check out both. And then, patiently waiting. And then this happened. You can right now go and download Ninja Gaiden digitally for $25, which, sounds like a good deal, right? $25 right now. Go to PlayStation Store, download it, and play and have a great time. Except if you're a pre-order person who has pre-ordered a physical copy of the game, you still have to wait till September 12th for your physical copy of the game. So that kind of stung, guys. I was like, damn, dude, that stings. That's not nice. That's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. But then it's funny. And so here it is. 9/12 is when it's coming out. $40. So for $25, you can download the game right now, or you can wait a month and a half and pay more. Well, who the hell would buy physical copies? And it pisses me off because not everybody does this. Not every company does this, as we're going to see in just a minute. But this is asinine. Like, what are you even doing? Why have this option? Why even bother with a physical copy at all? That's going to come out a month and a half later and cost damn near twice as much. It's nuts. It kind of makes me mad, guys. Kind of pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, I guess it is what it is, right? And, it makes me kind of sad just a little bit. But then, somebody decided to do something real smart. So you got these two ninja games out there. You got Ninja Gaiden and you got Shinobi. Okay, which one's going to be? So we obviously had Ninja Gaiden jump out the gate, just freaking out. Ooh, I want to be first. Jumps out there and comes out with a $25 option. Well, everybody's gonna download it. And everybody's gonna play it. So, but you feel like a moron, like a goof sitting here with your $40 game a month and a half away. Now I'm used to feeling like this. It is what it is. I guess I am just a big goof. But I really like physical media, guys. And for a while there, for probably 3 or 4 purchases, I was like, well, I would get my physical copy for my PlayStation 5, but I would download the digital version for my Switch. And in my mind, I was like, well, Switch is portable and I'll do it that way. But then I heard all kind of complaints about Ninja Gaiden running at like 30 FPS on Switch 2. What? So bad that some of the comments in my videos are saying that they're actually getting headaches playing a brand new game that just came out on a brand new Nintendo console that just came out. What are we doing? That's stupid. So now I don't want to download it I don't even want to buy it for Switch. So that means what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to download a version on PS5, but then I have the physical copy of the PS5 game. I'm not going to buy it, but you're not going to, double tap me here. I'm not going to do $40 or $25. That's just stupid. So what is a guy to do? Just, I guess, sulk in total misery. But then again, Sega. You know what? Sega always saves the day. There's a reason why I have so many Sega cabinets in my arcade. There's so many Sega products, so many Sega figures up here. Is because Sega cares about the gamer. So while they did not drop their Shinobi downloadable version right now, they didn't do that. They didn't do that at all because they understand there's people that have pre-orders out there. And I have a standard pre-order on limited run, just a cheaper version. They did something like this. They said, okay, we're going to drop the demo of our game. We're not going to shaft the physical pre-order guys and gals, all those people that want that physical copy, because not only do they have a regular version out there, but they also have like a collector's edition version out there. So they know that there's a lot riding on some of those pre-orders, those physical pre-orders. So why would they, cut their own throats, cut your nose off to spite your face? So they said, why don't we just release the demo? And here is the genius of that. When you have a great game, I'm not talking about like the Phantom on PS5. Remember when we played that game? Remember how horrible that was? If they would have released that demo, nobody would have bought that game. But when you have an excellent game, a good game, a really, really good, a great game, you know that all you have to do is drop the demo, just the first level, basically. And people are going to be salivating for more. And that is exactly what happened when I downloaded this demo, because I was all sad, frustrated that I couldn't play my Ninja Gaiden. And I downloaded this. And I'm telling you guys, I did a video today. Check out the video. This, if you haven't played the demo yet, I am telling you, I've been playing games for a very long time. This is just a beautiful game. So what you have is Ninja Gaiden over here, kind of pixelated, very much looking like the old games from back in the day, very much inspired by those old games, digital pixels, and that's very retro, and I like that. I like that aesthetic a lot. Don't get me wrong. Almost like some of the cutscenes were taken right out of those Nintendo, the NES games. This is not that. This is a beautifully hand-drawn piece of art. I mean, it's so slick and smooth and fluid, and it feels like a true evolution of the 2D side scroller, which is exactly what some of us were talking about here when you're talking about how you're excited for 2D side scrollers coming back. Not necessarily just another one, but a re-envisioning of that, an elevation of it. So you have Terminator 2D coming out. I'm knocking the hell out of this microphone. You got Terminator 2D coming out, which looks great and looks very much like a retro game, right? It's going to put you back in that mode. Iron Meat was the same way. Very retro, awesome music, just fun to play. Contra type of level design and everything. It was fun. We played that on the channel. This is an elevation of that. I mean, I'm telling you, the artistry is whimsical. It's beautiful. It flows. It is a gorgeous looking game. Even if you're not planning on buying the game, you owe it to yourself to download the demo and just check it out. Just check out the demo. Just barely. Yeah. See what they pun in yeah, intended. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just barely. It just edges out Barris. Shinobi runs a 60 FPS and is much more complex visually. The 30 FPS better get a patch for yeah, I think so. I think that Ninja Gaiden, the whole point of having old janky pixelated graphics, and I'm not saying that these are pixelated in a negative way, but the pixels you can sort of tell, you know, the pixelation I think is intentional on Ninja Gaiden's part. But the point of having those graphics is one to sort of evoke that emotion, that nostalgia of the original games from back in the day, but also, you know, technically keep the strain on your system very low so that thing can run smooth. It should be like butter, you know, because you're not really asking it to do a lot. You're not really, but evidently you are. Because if we're running at 30 frames per second on a Nintendo Switch 2, the Switch 2, I mean, I guess this was just made for Switch, and so it's, you know, it's playable on both systems, but still not even optimized for Switch 2. That just tells you that, I mean, they just had to, I guess they just dumbed the PS5 version down for Switch. It's really, really sad. Whereas if you look at this game, and if you play this demo, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to feel like a ninja from the 80s. Even though it's looking like a movie from the 2000s or the 10s. I mean, it looks beautiful, guys. It's a fluid game. It's a smooth game. It's very satisfying. All your super moves and everything are great. So I absolutely love it. So I guess sort of in the same vein that I did the video on earlier today, where I talked about my reactions and then what was the repercussions of it. No, I did not cancel my Ninja Gaiden pre-order. I still have that. It is what it is. I'm just going to wait. I know that the PS5 version is going to run better than the Switch 2. Fingers crossed. I hope so. So I'm not going to cancel that. So that means I'm not going to buy the downloadable version either. I'm just going to wait because Switch 2 version's garbage. But I did cancel my Shinobi pre-order. I canceled it because I upgraded. I upgraded my version. I wanted to get the classics version that had that cool Sega Genesis clamshell. The same collection that I got, the same edition that I got for Streets of Rage 4. I had that same Sega Genesis clamshell because I was so excited about this game. Like, I got to upgrade. I got to get the better version because this is sick. This game is freaking sick. It's awesome. So while I mean, a lot of us can be upset about the pre-order debacle as far as physical versus digital, and how physical guys you're not going to be the first one every time to get to play the game. And it's sad. They should both be available at the same time. You should be able to go and pick up your pre-order at Best Buy the day that it's released digitally everywhere else. Best Buy, Walmart, wherever. You know, you should be able to go pick up your pre-order. It should be waiting on you that day. And then you can go home after work and play that game the same day that everybody else can. That's the way it should be. If you want people to, you know, not get burned, or I guess it depends on what your focus is. If you want to eliminate the burden of physical media altogether, or maybe you just don't have that much margin built into your physical releases, I think that when it comes to Shinobi, they've got these deals with limited run which for better for worse, a lot of people don't like limited run because of some of the lead times and all that. But because of those agreements, Sega didn't want to shoot those, didn't want to shoot themselves in the foot. They didn't want to undercut limited run by releasing the digital version early. So because of those agreements, nobody's kind of getting shafted. Digital, physical, it's all come out at the same time, which is the way that Ninja Gaiden should have been. So that really sucks. That really sucks. So as far as the Ninja Wars go, though, now that I've played the demo of one, to be fair, I haven't played Ninja Gaiden at all. So I'm going to reserve my final judgments for a review video in the future when I do a Ninja versus Ninja video. I think that for me, Shinobi is just so impressive. It's so I was blown away by the experience and the look of it that I can't imagine Ninja Gaiden being able to top it. Now, it's going to still be really fun. I think so. Everything I'm hearing, it looks good. But I just can't see how Shinobi is going to be topped by Ninja Gaiden at all. I think Shinobi's probably going to stay on top. But listen, it is what it is. We don't really know 100% exactly how it's all going to shake out. But for now, that's the way that I see it. And, well, you know, would you look at that? Now, normally this would be the end of the show. And I would be talking about the members going over to the automatically redirected to the after show. But because we had our 10 super chat goal, you've just unlocked Second Pour.
What does a cowboy, comedian, surfer, singer, writer, showbiz gopher, and sheriff have in common? Nothing. But right now in LA, these 7 people are living together and bearing it all for the camera crew of MTV's Real World 2. Watch it Thursdays at 10 and find out what gets exposed. Plug into a brand new world.
MTV's Beavis and Butthead is brought to you by Barks, the one with bite.
Cool.
Yeah. Now this is what death rock is all about.
Yeah. Drums, guitars, and death. They finally got it right.
Yeah.
They've been given the choice. They're making the change. 1-800-COLLECT.
Carrie Jacobson's a milk drinker. Once I saw her, I had to meet her. She says milk helps with shiny hair and beautiful skin. She's right, she's gorgeous. She gets a lot of attention. From me, she gets total attention. Milk does a body good.
What did I tell you, Principal Skinner?
Mrs. Scrabumple, it's time we cut off Simpson's Butterfinger supply.
It's showtime!
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Things move so fast in this game. It seems like you never get to know people. Hi, I'm Emmett. Nice to meet you.
All men are created equal. Some just work harder in the preseason.
Let's all close our eyes and get in touch with our animal spirits.
Well, he's just trying to be friendly.
MTV, to walk in truth and breathe fire. That's cool.
Welcome, everybody, to Second Pour. That's right. You've unlocked the bonus. I hope it's a bonus. I hope you feel like it's a bonus. I feel like it's a bonus when I get a $5 super chat from this guy. Galaga Guy 88 for $5. Thank you so much again for another super chat, buddy. To me, it should have came out at the same time. I also think digital games should cost less than physical. Producing games, case, sleeve versus digital file. I absolutely agree 100%. I have no problem with a digital version costing $25, and then the full version of the game is 40 or 50, even half price. I have no problem with that, because I think that there is a market for listen, I want things to be as cost effective as possible. And if you and I can have the same experience, and you can pay half the money because you don't really want to buy a physical copy, and maybe money's a little tighter at your house, I have no problem with that. Options are the best way for everybody to enjoy a singular experience. So there's different tiers, different versions. If you don't want a physical copy with a case and all that stuff and collector's editions and all, you don't have to have any of that. You can cough up $25 and download it. And I have no problem with that, because I think for me, that extends a game's reach. Maybe a game like Shinobi or Ninja Gaiden wouldn't have gone as far as it would have without this lower tier, this lower cost option, you know, and I have no problem with that. If you're gonna sell a digital only console, technically all your games should be digital. You should have digital versions or digital components of each and every game you sell, or else why are you selling just a digital only console? That's a little bit weird. So I have no problem with any of that. I just think that they should all come out at the same time. I think you should not necessarily discourage one over the other. Thank you so much for $5 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate it. Here you go. Israel's talking good stuff here. That's a hell of a dream, buddy. Mobile arcade. Absolutely. There was actually a guy. So the guy that I sold my 3-player, remember when I did I don't know if you're a fan of the show, maybe you remember this from back in the day. I took a 3rd generation Ninja Turtles arcade 1-up, and then I took the guts. So that was my starting point. And then I took the guts out of a Rampage cabinet, or actually a Mortal Kombat cabinet that had Rampage on it, 2nd gen. And then I put it in that cabinet, and then I did a whole artwork upgrade package. Anyway, the guy that bought that cabinet had one of those. He had a school bus, and he had a little mobile arcade that he would drive around, and people would rent it out for parties and stuff. So he would park the bus there, and he would leave, and they would go in and play and have fun. And when they were done, they'd call him, and he'd come take the arcade away. So it's a mobile arcade. So exactly right. I am still doing an after show. We're going to do this for 30 minutes. We're going to hang out. We're going to have fun with the regular crew. And then the after show will continue for all the members. You're going to be automatically redirected to that. It's just going to be a little bit later tonight. We got some stuff to talk about, finalizing some of the designs. I want to talk to you about just the members. I want to talk to you about a new design I have, and I'm talking to my artists, trying to get that finalized. Should be really fun. Yes, Beavis and Butthead, absolutely. I pre-ordered the Play Asia. I wanted that clamshell. Yes, with the Switch version. Doesn't have the Genesis name on the side. That kind of sucks, man. But that's the one thing I like about, going with like a PS5 version. You tend to get those options. My my Streets of Rage 4 was the PS4 version. And I love it because it's a box that keeps everything intact. So I got the steel book and all that, but it's in this nice case, and it kind of keeps everything together. So yeah, so I enjoy it. Exactly. Yes, I love how the ninja's named Joe. Looks like it might be Joe Mushu for the win. Yeah, I think so. And I love the fact that it's Joe. A ninja named Joe. Second pour. That's right. Everybody. Drink them if you got them. How about them Cowboys? Micah Parson, one of the greatest, well, probably the most impactful defensive player right now, wants to leave. Imagine that. They're good, aren't they? They're pretty fun. One more season, and he'll be gone. He's under contract right now. Let me scroll this down just a little bit, kind of catch up everybody. Man, who doesn't miss all these old school? Yeah, I know, man. It takes you back, doesn't it? We got another super chat, $2. Molar Medic. What's going on, buddy? Missed most of the main show. Here's to the after show. Woo, hoo. Well, absolutely. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. J-Rod needs his Genesis, Dreamcast, and Neo Geo physical games coming. Absolutely. Indefinitely? Perhaps. Let's set another super chat goal and keep the show going. Oh, that was the first part of your, yeah, indefinitely. Well, maybe not. Okay, keep the comments coming, guys. I'm going to read them all. We need Saturn stuff. See, this is what I think this is like a gap that's missing in Sega's Legacy, I guess. There were some really great, some of the best arcade, like all the Capcom fighting games, like the Marvel versus series and all that. The best home ports were actually on the Saturn. I mean, they were just the best ports from that, going from Naomi for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That was more of a Dreamcast port that was really, really nice. Imagine the same thing for the other games, but on Saturn. There's just some great games. Saturn was just, they had just a bunch of games that also never really broke out of that generation either. Like Fighting Vipers comes to mind. The first Fighting Vipers game, I think they had a sequel on Dreamcast, but they never really, that first game never really kind of broke out. There was no other variations of that. I remember my buddy had, so when I was in the Army, that was the PlayStation era. So this was 95. And I didn't have a console from 95 till probably 2000 because I was in the Army and then I got married and I had kids and all that stuff was more important. So the hiatus that I was on was N64. I still have my Genesis at home, but N64, there was a gap, and then I came in and it's funny, I got the PS1 with the screen on it, the combo, and then right after that, I got the Dreamcast. And then the PS2 was coming out. So I'm like, oh, I couldn't afford the PS2 right away. I was pretty happy with what I had. So I was a Dreamcast diehard for sure. The PS1 with the screen, I took to work. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell nobody I did this. I worked night shift, and I took the PS1 to work, and I was playing. I actually had a bootleg, a boot disc, and I was playing some Japanese games. The first time I ever played Dragon Ball Final Bout was the Japanese version on my PS1 with the boot disc and the little piece of plastic that you would actually have to put in there to keep when you pop the lid, that's when the game would shut off or the system would shut off. But if you put this little plastic piece in there, it never knew that you popped the top. So you could use a boot disc. So you put the boot disc in, run that, it would prep the system, and you could put your Japanese game in there and it would play it on a US system. Those are the days, buddy. Those were the days. Triple pour? I do have to go to work tomorrow, guys. Okay, so yeah. I think that's where companies like Unico can come in, and if they can, it's going to be a recreation, right? We've talked about that they're coming out with 3 different styles, and I don't know that this style specifically. Honestly, I don't know anything about this one coming out, but the overall idea is that if you could come out with a shape like that, if you could mimic that, same thing that, Arcade 1-Up did, but kind of go full size, 26-inch monitor, make it skinny. You don't need all that depth, I don't expect you to have, it doesn't have to be a perfect recreation. You're going to have an LCD in there. So let's enjoy some of those benefits and make it a little bit more skinny, not quite as deep, same width, but not as deep. And if you take that size, that kind of that midway shape, you could apply that to a bunch of different games, a bunch of different genres, so you could have, that would kind of work for a Konami cab. But if you're talking about like midway games like NFL Blitz, for example, those sports games, that would even work for, Killer Instinct, obviously, the whole Mortal Kombat franchise, like you said. I wish that this is where I think that a company like, and I say Unico because they're the only ones that are talking about this, and I think that they should. Their Nova Blast was pretty good, really rough on the start, but if they could continue on with that and make just the generic shapes, right? The midway shape, even if they don't get all the licensing. I mean, I want them to get the licensing, but let's say they make the midway shape, not licensed, but it looks just like it, right? It's just not quite as deep. And you can skin it however you want. That's the biggest barrier, is these big physical shapes. Not everybody has the ability to build their own cabinet from scratch. I mean, I do a lot of woodworking, and I haven't even tackled that yet because it is kind of daunting to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of high grade plywood to try to figure out this shape and get it just right without having an actual cabinet as a reference. It's really tough. Absolutely, man. Very underrated, but you could almost say that about, with the exception of the Genesis. I think all Sega's consoles were kind of underrated. Everybody looks back with fondness at the Dreamcast, but exactly right. Well, Gallagher guy, that's hurtful. We're going to move on to the next topic. And I'm going to go cry off camera later. I hate to say it, but the Cowboys won't win another Super Bowl as long as I agree with you 100%. I just don't see it happening. I for the life of me, I can't understand how you would honestly have an environment where Micah Parsons wouldn't be comfortable. You have to make that guy comfortable. You have to make him happy. You have to do whatever you got to do. It's his last season. Create an environment where he actually wants to stay. Because if he doesn't want to stay, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at him. He's not going to be interested at all. Damn it. Open up the floodgates, didn't I? Saturn was a good buy in long run, but a waste of money to buy day one. Unfortunately, that's the roll of the dice, right? Some of these are absolutely, they will kill you day one. Like the Dreamcast, they dropped that thing to $99, and that's when I got in because I didn't have a bunch of money and I already had my PS1. So I got in at $100. That was the best $100 I ever spent. Bought that thing brand new, and since then I have bought. Honestly, I can't remember the year I bought this one. I bought this one probably, 6-7 years ago. And this thing has just been perfect, like flawless. Not a problem, knock on wood. Okay, yeah, well, I asked for that, didn't I? Being able to copy disc took out the, well, that's true, yeah. Daytona. I remember playing Daytona on Saturn. That was a lot of fun. It wasn't the best port, but it was a ton of fun. I'm telling you, when you get that sound, that's half the battle right there. Unico. Most of the Saturn games are Japanese. Yeah, I know that they had the best releases. Sucks but true, but the NFL chooses the two teams that go to the big game. Yeah, unfortunately, I tend to agree with you. I wasn't a big conspiracy theorist until things started showing up that it's kind of undeniable. I'm glad they gave me some announcements to drop, and I dropped them, but I am cautious like everybody else. That's why I waited to share what I could share. When I saw that, when I actually saw a physical prototype of the first cabinet they were talking about, the cabinet that I thought was a long shot, when I saw that they started with that one and they actually have one, they actually built one, I thought, okay, well, now we got something. Now we can talk about it. And then I asked permission to share. I asked what I could share, and then I shared it. And I'm excited, guys. So we will see. Anything, they could completely fall apart, right? They could drop the ball like they've done on some things. Cross your fingers. It's looking pretty good. If I get hit once, Novasonic, I would be done, brother. The sweet spot would have been to buy Saturn dirt cheap right before Dreamcast dropped. I agree. Absolutely agree. I wish they would have come out with the Neptune. I wish they would have made the Neptune. I know it's probably kind of nuts. Maybe they should have. What they should have done is not had the 32X add-on. Waited and had the Neptune. And then have a Neptune CD add-on for some of the Saturn games. I don't know. I wish they would have, if they could have just done some things differently and not just kind of screwed up. I think that we could have had a Dreamcast 2. I think they would have probably continued on because they had killer hardware based on arcade hardware. It was a sweet time to be a gamer, man. I'm telling you. It was great. The low buck option, not the knockoff, but the lower tier was the Dreamcast. That's how good we had it. Wild. Absolutely wild. I'm done watching Jerry Jones Circus, and it is an absolute circus, man. I don't get invested in it. I don't even really get excited. I watch a game, and you ask my wife, she'll tell you, usually something will happen in the first quarter where I'm just checked out. I'm just like, well, they're going to lose this game. And usually when I say it, they do. Yep. I still have my day one Dreamcast in the box. Keep it, baby. Keep that thing. I'm pumped for the MK collection, but wonder what other games will make the lineup. So here's what we saw, and here's what we know, and all this stuff. So all the arcade versions are going to be there. The Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 as well as regular Mortal Kombat 3. You're going to have Mortal Kombat 4. We're also talking about Game Boy versions, Game Boy Advance versions. Imagine, if you will, the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, but the Mortal Kombat version of that. And what I love, Capcom's been really great about this. They have multiple games come out with multiple collections. They know what they got, and they keep repackaging it and they keep putting it out there. SNK does a pretty good job of that too. If you go back, you look at the PS2 games, the PS3 compilations, the PSP compilations of different SNK collections. There's some companies out there that know what they have and they repackage it well. And I have no problem with that, because for me, it's like, I've said this about movies, but really about video games. Like movies, you can always upscale, take the old footage to 4K, and then a younger audience can enjoy that old movie. Take an old game like Metal Gear Solid 3, PS2 game, and then reimagine it for, current generation consoles and call it Metal Gear Solid Delta. And you take the same game, same voice actors, same, it's the same pacing, the same story, but just upgraded visuals, obviously. And now a new generation can enjoy that. I feel the same way about these sort of collections. Continue this on, compile these games, because otherwise they're just going to be lost to the sands of time, and then you won't be able to share with your kids or your grandkids that game you played from back in the day. So, yeah. So we could see Sub-Zero mythologies. Why not? Why not? I know it's kind of an odd game, but if you're looking at a complete collection, reach out and grab every Mortal Kombat variant that they made for all these consoles and throw them on there. That's what I think. Ooh. Gramps, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Oh, man. Enjoyed it more than Godzilla. You liked it more than Godzilla? That's incredible. No, just one. Well, yeah, I'll have a third drink for the after show, which I may get in trouble on the after show. So if you want to see me get in absolute trouble, you should become a member for sure. And I haven't forgotten about the poll question. We're going to talk about that after the show, guys. It did? Okay. Check your computer. I'm still looking good. I always monitor my stream up here. So far, so good. If it is on my end, I'm sorry about that. Well, let's toast to Unico or dropping the ball. I need to get these RK 1-ups out of here and consolidate to serve my pinball addiction. It's what happens. We just move from one addiction to another, isn't it? And I blame RK 1-up. I think they had it all lined up. And they just found a way to drop that ball. Unico. Now, that's funny. Rumors are SNK and Big Blue out of Unico with official games. Question I have is, will we be able to bring our own games ROMs as well? From what I understand, they are pursuing licensing to get these cabinets officially licensed by fill-in-the-blank publisher. I can't tell you who, obviously. But keep speculating. What I'm hearing out there is pretty good, pretty cool. Be nice if it happens. But from what I understand, the official versions will only have official games. But it's not like you're going to be able to unplug. It's not going to be, these wires aren't going to be soldered to boards, right? You're going to be able to unplug and connect some other device if you would like to put your own games in. So this will still function as a shell for other games. But as far as side-loading games to the included board that has the licensed games on them, I don't think that's going to be a possibility. I mean, that might be something that somebody else could hack down the road. But from what I understand, the licensed games on the board will be secure. And the board is only going to play those particular games, those ROMs on that board. That's going to be locked down. That's going to be secure. But if it's a JAMA connection, then you'll be able to do whatever you want, basically. Put in a JAMA board, put in a Pandora's box, or whatever you want. No kidding. I think you just retired. Well, let's toast Unico not dropping the ball. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I already said that. I already read that comment. It's always something weird like that, isn't it? Yep. Absolutely. Late to the party again. Jerry Jones is running my favorite team into the ground. Unfortunately, brother, it is what it is. What can we do, right? What can we do? Okay, guys, we have reached the end of second pour. I had a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for unlocking this this achievement, I guess. I mean, it's an achievement for sure because I got to have a second pour and you got to listen to me talk for longer, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you get the short end of the stick.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Okay, it is once again that time to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But before we go, guys, we got to talk about the poll question. This is a good one. We had an extra 30 minutes to answer this. 107 votes, not too shabby. Let's go ahead and end the poll now, and let's see where we ended up. I want to go ahead and screenshot this so we can post this a little bit later in the old chat. There we go. Do a community post on that one. Let me kill that one. Let me get back here. So coming in last place. Okay, so the question was, when you pre-order a game you're excited about, which version do you go for? Coming into last place was the No Limit Collector's Edition, which kind of makes sense. But still, I got 15% of the vote. That's not bad. Coming in the number 3 spot, and this makes me happy, is digital. 21% of you say you go digital, so that's coming in 3. So what's going to take the top spot? Coming in the top spot, believe it or not, kind of weird. I thought standard would win out, but it's actually deluxe. You want the deluxe edition. You spend about $80 maximum when you pre-order a game you're really excited about. So that's 32%. What's interesting is that the top 3 were really pretty close. Collector's edition was pretty low, but I am happy that digital only got 21% of the vote. But listen, that just goes to show you any way you slice it. If there's a game that's coming out you're excited about, you're going to download it, you're going to buy it, you're going to purchase it. And as long as we're doing that, no matter how you purchase the game, you are encouraging the developer, the producer, the publisher, whatever, to keep making that game. So, like I said, I don't care how you do it. I'm just glad that you do it. And maybe, just maybe, make sure that all this stuff comes out at the exact same time, digital and physical. And as for physical, that's as physical as I'm going to get with you tonight. I'm done for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. Members only live stream. The after show is coming up in just a few minutes. Right after this, don't worry. You don't have to go anywhere. You're going to be automatically redirected to the after show. If you want to come to the after show, you got to be a member. Just go down here and click the join button. Click that. It's only $5 a month to become a member. You don't have to super chat anymore. Just join, become a member. It's a lot of fun. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy your week, and I will see all of you right back here next time. Peace.